When we say a person is clinically depressed, we mean that the person is experiencing persistently low mood all day, every day, in addition to feelings of hopelessness and Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Relationship and Health Matters with Dudu Shewa. If you're new to my YouTube channel, you're welcome. Please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any juicy episode. My name is Dr. Blessing Ekundayo, and I am a relationship educator and a mental health practitioner based in New Zealand. Today, I'm going to be talking about something really interesting, okay? It's related to our mental health, and the topic is how to tell if you are depressed. How can you find out? How can you know if you are clinically depressed, right? A lot of times, people just use the word depression. I'm so depressed. I'm very depressed. But what does it really mean to be clinically depressed? Find out very soon on this episode. When we say a person is clinically depressed, we mean that the person is experiencing persistently low mood all day, every day, in addition to feelings of hopelessness and loss of interest in previously pleasurable activities. How can you tell if you are clinically depressed? I'm going to be sharing with you about 9 different symptoms, that characterize depression. And these symptoms are basically from the DSM-5 criteria. DSM basically stands for Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, edition 5. It's just a globally known or acknowledged criteria that we use in mental health for diagnosing conditions like this. Depression is not like hypertension or asthma or all of those things where you have like an x-ray, you do an x-ray or you do like a blood test or to find out the diagnosis. So we always look for sort of symptoms that are present all together. So I'm going to tell you all of these 9 symptoms that sort of suggest to us whether or not you may be depressed. And I'll tell you more after these 9 symptoms. So number 1, when you have a persistently low mood all day, every day. So sometimes you could feel like you could just become extremely tearful, and people will ask you, why are you depressed or why are you crying? I don't know, I'm just very sad. People will actually see that you're really, really sad. So that's number 1. Number 2, you lose interest in previously pleasurable activities. For example, maybe you used to enjoy, going out to the beach, walking, going for walks, or jogging, or cycling, or swimming. Just realize that all of those things don't make any sense to you anymore. You have no motivation at all to do anything. And even when you start watching things like movies that you used to enjoy doing, it just doesn't make sense. You don't enjoy it like you used to. So that's number 2. The other thing that you need to bear in mind, number 3, is that people who are depressed actually struggle with sleep. So they have disturbances in their sleep. For example, they could struggle to actually initiate sleep, or they have broken sleeps. Other times, some people actually sleep excessively. They sleep a lot because they are depressed. So that's number 3. Number 4 is when people are depressed, they have these feelings of hopelessness, of worthlessness, of excessive guilt. So, for example, some people could tell you, oh, I don't even think that my life can amount to any good anymore. I've come to the end of everything. It's never going to get better. Other people will begin to feel really worthless. They begin to feel extremely guilty. It's my fault that this is happening to you. It's my fault that this is happening to me, and they begin to blame themselves for so many things that they actually do not deserve to be blamed for. Right. So the other thing apart from this is some people begin to feel extremely low in energy, very, very fatigued. Even if they're eating, they are so tired. They have no energy to do anything. Every day, all day, they are so fatigued, very tired, no motivation to do anything at all. Could you be depressed? You need to find out. The other symptom that some people experience, with depression is that they begin to have they have so much appetite, Some people just begin to eat and eat and eat. I once had a patient who told me, Dr. Blessing, I don't enjoy anything in life, and this is the only thing that gives me pleasure. So she just ate and ate and ate a lot. Other people lose their appetite. They have no interest in food at all, such that you have to remind them to eat. It is very, 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 very stressful. And when people lose weight, for example, we say that, because some people actually lose weight because of this, because of low appetite, right? And if you lose about 5% actually of your normal weight within the space of 1 month, that is significant. On the other hand, if you're eating excessively and you gain about 5% of your weight within a space of 1 month, that is significant. So what is 5%? For example, let's say I'm 60 kilograms, and within the space of 1 month, 5% of 60 is about 5% of 60 is what? That's 3, so that means you lose 3 kg within 1 month. So 60 minus 3 is 57, 60 plus 3 is 63, right? So either you become 63 because you've eaten a lot, or you become 57 because you've not eaten, right? So that's what the weight gain is like in that case. Some other symptoms include poor concentration. So some people cannot just focus. You're talking to them and it's like they are lost, they're not there. Or some people, you could be watching TV and you realize, like, I'm not even concentrated. What is going on in this movie? It could even be a movie they've watched before, but they just cannot concentrate. They cannot focus. They struggle with concentration. Do you struggle with concentration at the moment? In addition to all that I've mentioned, maybe you are depressed. You need to find out. Another symptom that people with depression usually struggle with, what we call psychomotor agitation or retardation. So some people become extremely restless, extremely anxious as a result of being depressed. Other people are so slow, retarded, very, very slow in their thoughts, very slow in their movements. And people will begin to ask you, what exactly is wrong with you? Something is not right with you. Why are you behaving like that? You are so slow. Maybe you are depressed. Right. The other symptom, the last symptom that's associated with people who are depressed, is the feelings of thoughts about wanting to die. This is really, 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 really sad. Some people just begin to think about death, or maybe I'll be better off, if I wasn't here, maybe I should just take my life. They begin to think about all sorts of things about dying. Some people actually may not have the plan to take their lives, but they just have lots of those intrusive thoughts about that. Other people actually may have thoughts, plans, intent about wanting to take their lives as a result of feeling depressed and being just exhausted about what is going on in their lives. If you do feel this way, please, 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 it's important for you to get help, Suicide is not the answer, even though things may look very, very horrible at the moment. And I will suggest to you that you actually do go online. As you are watching me right now, go to Google and check the depression and suicide helplines in the countries where you reside in. On the screen, I'm going to be putting the suicide helplines of New Zealand, where I reside. You'll see it on your screen right now. Please do get help. Right, now back to what we're talking about, how to tell if you're depressed. So I've listed to you about 9 symptoms that characterize depression. If you are depressed, right, according to the DSM-5 criteria that I mentioned earlier, it means that you must have these symptoms lasting for at least 2 weeks. So if they do not last for 2 weeks, you are not depressed. Maybe you could be experiencing something else that we call probably adjustment disorder or something else like that, but not depression yet. So they must last for at least 2 weeks, right? And you must have at least 5 of all of this. I've listed 9, so you must have at least 5 of them. Are you following? You must have at least 5 of them. And out of that 5, you must have 1 of either depressed mood or loss of interest in pleasurable activities. Either of those 2 must be present in addition to the rest of the other symptoms that I have mentioned. Some other things that you need to bear in mind is that these symptoms must not be due to the fact that you are using substances. So substances like alcohol, for example, or substances like cocaine, cannabis, it must not be as a result of the use of these substances. It also must not be as a result of a medical condition, right? And most importantly, these symptoms must be causing you a lot of distress to the point that they are preventing you from being able to function normally. So they are affecting your studies. For example, if you are, you're going to school or you're in uni or whatever you're doing, okay, they're impacting negatively on your normal activities, on your job, on your social life. They are causing you a lot of distress and they are impairing your ability to function. Then you say that you are probably likely to be depressed. Okay, I hope all of this makes sense, and I hope I've been able to simplify depression so that you could quite understand how to tell whether or not you are depressed. Okay, and before you begin to diagnose yourself, I want you to know that these symptoms I've just talked about are common also to some other medical conditions. Alright, for example, it could be that you've got some issues with your thyroid gland, or maybe you've got low iron levels. So before you begin to diagnose yourself, I'll suggest and recommend strongly that you see your doctor if you're considering that you may be depressed. Please see your doctor and see your doctor urgently, okay? So the doctor will be able to provide to you, some tests and examine you also properly. Alright, if you've enjoyed watching this episode, do let me know by leaving a comment, and if you have any questions for me, do let me know. Most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Until I see you next time, my name is Dr. Blessing Ekundayo. God bless you and have a good time. Bye.